Well, I guess not. What did you do? What did you figure out? Hi everyone, my name is Mimi and welcome to my channel. And today I'm going to be reacting to Hell's Paradise Season 2, Episode 6, Conflict and Growing Together. And last episode, Gabimaru and the others decided to go for the elixir and find a way to get off the island. They had a plan. I knew that wasn't going to work, and it didn't work. The Tensen were there. They separated them. Now they're about to face them. And the reason why the Tensen were there is because Chobe gave them information about them coming, but then he also had a condition, I guess. And I'm guessing that that condition is that no harm should come to his brother. But yeah, so if I remember correctly, Gabimaru, Sagiri, and Yuzuriha and Mei are facing Ran. You had Shion and Nurugai facing Shujin. He's the one that killed Tensa. And then you have the others about to face, I think their name are Taufa and Fa something. Jufa. Jufa and Taufa. They're facing those two. Last episode they were also talking about who the attributes of their Tao, I guess. And after when I was editing this episode, last episode, I slowed down and wrote down which attribute is attributed to who. Like I wrote down everybody's attributes. And unfortunately, the people that Gabimaru and the person Ran is his style is not compatible with them. So I think they're gonna have a lot of trouble with defeating Ran. If they can even defeat him. Who knows? And so that's what happened last episode. And before we get into this one, if you guys like my reaction, please give it a thumbs up, please subscribe, and please consider supporting me on Patreon at patreon.com/feelingmini. And now let's start this episode. And here we go. Okay guys, in case the reaction gets blocked and I had to cut out the reaction itself, you can just look in the pinned comment in the comment section where for the link to the reaction highlight itself, so you can just click on it, watch it, and then you just come back for my review. Yeah, your plan failed. Okay, so now you fight. Oh, so had they plan B? They must have faced them head on. Well, he doesn't look worried at all. Oh, okay.
兄上と宗師のもとへ帰りましょう。兄上があなたを放逐したのは愛ゆえ。完璧なターン。戦略はもうじき完成します。人を儒化させないターンがいがみ合う理由もなくなりました。あとは量を用意するだけ。より多く、より質のいい材料。
And that's where they come in.
会いたかった。でも今わかった。もう私みんなと違う。
What you doing?
みんなに会いに来た。お別れ言いに来た。
仕方ない。先に済ませましょう。儀式はすでに始まっている。
They say he's trying to achieve immortality through physical exercise, I guess. That makes sense. He's fire. Yeah. Okay. He said he had a plan. So what's that plan?
なんで私？
ランのタオは水、総国のタオは土のお主だけだ。
Sorry.
戦略ない。
何？
の城動員級です。
どうして？
練炭球の位置や単のタオもしっかり確認した。
Probably some kind of decoy.
死骸のタオも無機物と同じ。
Ah, so that's how he was able to fold them.
姉上。
やはりここで決着をつけるしか。
ガビマル、
譲りは例の策で行くぞ。
素晴らしい肉体の躍動ですが残念。あなたのタオではどれだけ打っても致命傷にはなりません。
Can you change the attribute of your towel? Is there a way to do that?
制するからか無防備だし。なんで総国なのに。
私はタオを細く伸ばして束ねています。強靭でしなやかなまるで筋繊維のように。今の連携があなたたちの策ならば無意味です。これぞ筋肉とタオの調和。肉体の真理。
天仙様ってヤバい系。
Yes. Don't ask me.
忍法怒りつぶて。
But if everything you're just not gonna work against him, like I don't.
ムーダンよりも戦う技術を心得てる。このままじゃ。
That's what I said last time. That maybe Mudan was the weakest out of among all of them.
大体つかめた。
Okay.
始めるぞ譲りは。
You got the gist of it?
はいやっとね。
What was he looking for? What?
先ほどのは策じゃない。
Well, I guess not. What did you do? What did you figure out?
1の手は確認できた。
Okay.
ついで2の手だ。
Okay. What was the first method? What did he figure out?
サイや主には名が必要だ。壁寺副将の際に彼ら
タミヤ眼鉄祭。他にも人別将の名前は全員処刑人も含め頭に入ってる。俺が協力する条件は一つ。
Mm-hmm.
弟の分。
See? I knew it.
なんとかって儀式連れてけ。俺が直接弟を仲間に引き込む。お前らは手出しするな。
生存木の絵タオをかなり使いこなしている。シオンにとって水の呪人は総国ではない。すなわち殺す術がない。タオの連度が低い。相手にならない。だが強い怒りを感じる。
Yep.
山田浅右衛門淵とタミヤ眼鉄祭。金はタオファにとって総国だが、眼鉄祭ともにタオの鍛錬が。そして長兵衛が弟をこちらに引き込む。たやすいはず。
これがガビマルの言っていた1の手。
タオとは体を覆う水流のようなもの。属性とは流れの方向の違いで、創生とは相手の流れを後押しする水流。まあタオの流れが大きすぎて本来の法則が通じない。
Okay.
創生による加速も総国による反発もないよう、うまく相手の水流に乗りそのまま返す。相手のタオを利用するのはヌルガイトの訓練。極限まで薄めるのは譲り派から。部分的に操る術はシオンから。
Damn.
相手のタオに呼吸を合わせるため、冷静さと激しさの両立。その術はかつてサギリお主から学んだものだ。タオを薄めた分、自分の防御も弱まる。攻撃を流し続けることができればいいが。
お見事ですね。よーく見ればタオを練り始めたのは島に来てからとわかります。それだけでは説明できない適応力。まさに才能、感動を覚えるほどです。
Okay.
才能できた多くの犠牲の中から人間が見つけ出したものの結集だ。すべてお前たちを殺すためのな。それを差し置いて才能なんて。
私たちで練炭球へ戦薬を取りに行きます。
おとなしくしていなさい。
戦薬
任せた。はい。
待って。ならば逆に弱めて。
But he can oh you forgot about her, huh?
最高の相手ですが、
Hmm.
ごいっちゃ。
Needs to work. What's happening?
残念ですがこれは儀式。遊んでいる暇はない。
Is he transforming, going to the next step, or is this something else?
本番はここからだ。
Where they have two heads? Yeah.
起死回したかラン。数百年なかったこと、それほどの男。当時戦薬の酒種が完成しました。ようやく今夜全てが終わる。
まずは宣告同様、相手のタオの流れ、癖を把握せねば。
Is it gonna be that easy to do?
大丈夫ですよ。ガビマルなら。
こっちの体力を測って致命傷を避けている。ランは変化しても知性がある。技と戦略を持っている。まずい。意識が。
No, you better not let it fade.
忍法。全部。
味忍びなのに、あんたと私は全然違うね。いざとなったら、私は私の身しか守らない。
Aww.
私は私の命が第一だもん。命がけとかまっぴらよ。
いいでしょう。もういいでしょう。
私の目的は生きて帰ること。生きて妻に会うこと。
Even though his condition is, he doesn't look good. I don't think he's dying. Even if he was dying, or even if he died, something's gonna bring him back to life. You know? I don't see Gabimaru dying in this show. And even if he's gonna die, it's gonna be like at the very end. You know? So that's why I was more worried about Yuzuriha. Because she was saying that she prioritizes her own life over everybody else, right? But in this particular situation, she didn't. She tried to save Gabimaru. So when Ron was about to attack her and kill her and whatnot, that's why I was worried. Like, y'all saw my reaction to that. But Gabimaru saved her for now. And then he's the one that seemed to be dying. But like I said, he's not dying. So I love that he was able to deal crushing blows to Ran, even though like before they came there, I figured that before they came there. Oh my goodness. They went there, right? they were about to face run, and like I said, last episode I paused and went through everybody's attributes and figured out that Ron's attribute was gonna be contrary to was gonna be a hindrance to Gabimaru, right? Because he's water and Gabimaru's fire. So yeah, water just like it quenches your fire, you know, it'll douse it. So yeah, I knew he wasn't gonna be he was gonna have trouble, you know. But then as they were fighting, at first it seemed like nothing that Gabimaru was doing was working. And then he did something. Like, what did you do? And then they went back a little bit and showed us how they talked about what should they do, should they face. First of all, what should they do? Should they face a Tensen? Because at first they're like, we don't want to face any of them. If we face them, we fail, right? That's what they said. And then Gabimaru was like, okay, it's over. But then that was also a part of the plan, you know. They're like, okay, if we were to face the Tensen, then we go to plan B. And plan B is we fight them with all we have, and then we get out of here. You know, that's plan B. And now in plan B, they have to think about, okay, what should we do were we to face someone whose style is not compatible with us, you know, who's a hindrance to us. And then that's where Gabimaru was talking about how Tao is like a current. It has a stroke, like that direction, and then the strength, you know, of that current, and then how you should face something like that. Either flow like the flowing the same thing, or no. He says that the restoration is when you're like sort of flowing and complementing the flow of that current, but then hindrance is when you're like doing the opposite and douse it and whatever. And then he's like join the flow. I don't know. I don't think I fully got exactly what he's saying, but while he was saying it looked cool and it made sense. Although I can't really remember it right now. And it worked, you know. He's like, okay, the first, not part of it, but I guess the first experiment worked, and now let's try the second one. And you know, it was working, you know. But then the transformation happened, and everything changed. And like I said, I asked myself whether Mudan was like the weakest among them or something. And clearly he was weaker than Ran. And Gabimaru also said that it seemed like when Mudan and Shujin transformed, that they lost a little bit of their senses. But that's not the case with Ran. Ran is able to strategize and stuff, while the other two were not, it seemed like, you know. So I don't know how it's gonna go. I don't know. Well, let's say that before while they were about to face them, Gabimaru told Sagiri and Mei to go and find the elixir, right? Ran excuse me, manipulated the objects in there to make it seem like the the elixir was there, but it wasn't. And so he told the others, Gabimaru told the others, Sagiri and Mei, to go and find the elixir, and that him and Yuzuriha were going to face Ran, because Yuzuriha's style is a hindrance to Ran's style. And so if Ran was to weaken his style, then Yuzuriha can take advantage of that and whatnot. So yeah, so when the other two left, and then they hear this huge crash or big noise, and then they're like, clearly they were worried about Gabimaru, but then Sagiri is like, he's gonna be fine, you know. And then Gabimaru was having trouble, and it seemed like he was about to be killed. And I'm like, okay, I'm thinking, is Sagiri, are they gonna come back? Because even though they said that he was gonna be fine, they maybe were too worried about him and decided to go back and help him or something. So that's what I was thinking, but I don't know if they actually are gonna go back or if they are gonna continue to try to find the elixir. I was wondering where Rian was. Apparently, it seemed like he's with Shufu because he was bowing to what seemed like Shufu over there. And then he was talking about, he was in this, not a circle, but like in the middle, and then he had all these things on the side with people's names and all that. Chobe is the one that provided the names because they're saying that with the rituals you need to have people's names and stuff. So he gave them the names, and Rian was there and studying, I guess, everybody's Tao and attributes and life. And he's like, okay, you have Shion, he's alive. He has mastery of Tao or good control of Tao, but then the attributes are like, he's analyzing everybody. And based on the analysis that he's doing, he'll be like, okay, these people are basically, in all of them, he came to the conclusion that they are going to be defeated, but that Gabimaru was going to be a problem. Oh, when it came to Shion, he's like, they have a rage, and that strong emotions can increase your Tao or something or other like that. That's why he said when it came to Shion, because they are facing Shujin, and yes, they have rage when it comes to Shujin. So, yeah. But then at one point when I looked at Shujin, it seems like there's something different about him. Because Shujin was there, and then you had Shion and Ruga there about to face them, and at first he was looking at them, but then he sort of like, his expression sort of like changed. Like it felt like he was, I don't know if he's resigned or saddened or something. There was some kind of reaction from Shujin that I'm like, it didn't feel like someone that's gung-ho about killing Nurugai and Shion, or collecting their Tao, whatever it is that they want from them. It felt like someone that's reluctant to face them, and I don't know why exactly. But okay, that's how I felt when I saw that expression come from Shujin. And now Chobe is with Alpha and Jufa, and his role is to recruit his brother. And Dorian is like, there's not going to be any problem there. And I am wondering, is there not going to be a problem? I know ever since they started this show, ever since they've shown us Chobe and Toma has done everything that his brother wanted him to do, and I don't know, for some reason, I don't think it's gonna go the way Rian thinks it's gonna go. Or maybe Toma will go with his brother in the beginning, but then something's gonna change, and then he's not gonna just let Kontetai and Who else was there? Fuchi die at the hands of Jufa and Taufa. Like, I don't see that happening. So I guess we'll see how that's gonna go. But yeah, I don't think there's anything else to talk about. There wasn't really a fight happening. The fight this episode was mostly focused on Gabimaru and Ran and Yuzuriha. The others haven't started fighting yet, so we don't know how that's gonna go. But yeah, we'll see. Thank you guys for watching, and if you like this reaction, please give it a thumbs up, please subscribe, and if you want to see my reaction to the next episode, the link is going to be in the pinned comment, so you can just click on it and you can watch it right now. And you can also catch up with all my previous Hell's Paradise episodes. There's a link to the playlist in the comment as well. So thank you for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye. Because your eyes, nose, lips, every look and every breath, you got me